Dive, where we take a deep dive, into fascinating topics.
Yeah.
And today,
Right.
we're diving into the world of astrology to navigate the week of December 2nd to 8th, 2024.
Okay.
Think cosmic obstacle course. Lots of intensity, but also opportunities for growth. We're working with predictions by Adonis Saliba
Yes.
in collaboration with Monica Mancini.
What's interesting here is that despite the challenging aspects, there's still room to maneuver. It's not about being a passive passenger.
Right.
This week calls for actively making choices to navigate the energy.
Okay, so let's break down this cosmic obstacle course. We've got the sun in Sagittarius.
Yes.
Which is usually all about freedom and exploration.
Yeah.
But it's squaring Saturn. What does that mean for us in practical terms?
It means that while you might be feeling the urge to expand your horizons and chase those big Sagittarius dreams,
Right.
you'll also be met with a dose of reality. Saturn's energy is all about structure and discipline, so you might feel a bit restricted or like you're hitting a wall.
So instead of booking that spontaneous flight to a far-off destination,
Yeah.
maybe this is the week to focus on creating a budget for that trip. Or finally finishing that online course you started.
Exactly. It's not about abandoning those dreams, but rather about grounding them in reality and creating a solid plan to achieve them. This Saturn influence can actually be incredibly helpful for long-term success.
Oh, okay.
It encourages us to build those strong foundations and develop the discipline needed to reach our goals.
Like Saturn saying, okay, you want to climb that mountain? Great. But let's make sure you got the right gear, a map, and a solid understanding of the terrain before you set off.
Precisely. Now, another aspect to be mindful of this week is the Sun and Mercury's contraparallel with Jupiter.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed how certain astrological combinations can sometimes make you feel overly optimistic?
Yeah.
Almost to the point of being unrealistic. This is one of those times.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well. It's like you're wearing those rose-colored glasses and everything seems possible, but then reality hits and you're like, wait a minute. Did I just agree to cater a 3-course dinner for 20 people?
Exactly.
Oh.
So while that Jupiterian energy can be great for boosting our spirits and expanding our horizons, it's important to temper our enthusiasm with a healthy dose of realism this week. Before making any big decisions, especially financial ones, double-check those numbers, get a second opinion, and maybe sleep on it for a night.
So essentially, we're being cosmically encouraged to channel our inner pragmatist this week. Don't just leap, look before you leap. Now let's talk about the moon's journey this week.
Yeah.
It's going to be moving through 3 signs: Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces.
Yeah.
How might these shifts influence our emotional state?
The moon entering Capricorn at the start of the week brings a focus on practicality and structure. It's a good time to get organized, tackle those to-do lists, and make those important decisions that require a clear head. Then as the moon moves into Aquarius midweek, we might feel a shift towards independence and innovation.
So maybe not the best time to ask for a raise from our Capricorn boss, but a great time to brainstorm creative solutions to a work problem, or finally start that passion project we've been putting off.
Exactly. Embrace that Aquarian ingenuity and think outside the box. Finally, as we head into the weekend, the moon enters Pisces, shifting the energy toward heightened sensitivity, intuition, and emotional depth.
This sounds like the perfect time to recharge those batteries, connect with loved ones, or simply indulge in some creative self-expression. Maybe a long bath with some essential oils and calming music.
Sounds like a perfect plan. You can find all the details and insights for the week on horoscopo-amana.blogspot.com.
Okay, great. We'll be right back with more of this fascinating deep dive, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Before we move on to how this week's energy will impact each sign, let's quickly recap the key takeaways so far. We have the Sun in Sagittarius squaring Saturn.
Right, so we're feeling that push and pull between expansion and restriction. It's time to dream big, but also to create those practical steps and structures to turn those dreams into reality.
Exactly. And remember that Sun-Mercury-Jupiter contraparallel we talked about?
Yeah.
That's the cosmic invitation to balance our enthusiasm with realism.
Definitely good advice to keep in mind, especially if we're feeling tempted by those holiday sales. Now let's get specific. How will this astro weather play out for each sign?
Let's start with Aries. With their ruling planet Mars connecting beautifully with Jupiter, this could be a week where innovative solutions and bold actions lead to breakthroughs.
So if an Aries has been facing a challenge at work or in their personal life, this might be the week to push through those obstacles with that signature Aries courage and determination.
Absolutely. This aspect can also boost their energy levels and optimism, making it a good time to tackle projects they've been putting off. However, with the Sun squaring Saturn, they might also experience some tension with authority figures.
So maybe not the best week for an Aries to pick a fight with their boss or challenge the rules.
Probably not. Diplomacy and patience will be key. Now, for Taurus Venus, their ruling planet is forming a sweet sextile with Neptune, which can enhance their creativity and intuition.
This sounds like a great week for Taurians to indulge their artistic side, whether that's painting, writing, listening to music, or simply spending time in nature.
Exactly. It's a time to connect with their senses and allow inspiration to flow. However, Venus is also squaring Saturn, which could create some challenges in relationships. Communication might feel strained, and boundaries might be tested.
So it's important for Taurus to be mindful of their needs, communicate clearly, and practice patience and understanding in their interactions. Now, what about Gemini? With Mercury, their ruling planet, opposing Jupiter this week, what should they be aware of?
This aspect can amplify Gemini's natural communication skills, making them even more talkative and expressive than usual. However, it can also lead to overthinking scattered energy and a tendency to overcommit.
So maybe not the best week for Gemini to sign any contracts, make any promises they can't keep, or start a debate on social media?
Exactly. It's a time to think before you speak, double-check those details, and avoid taking on more than you can handle. For Cancer this week might bring up some intense emotions. As the Sun squares Saturn and the Moon starts its journey in Capricorn, activating their sector of home and family.
So this could be a week where family responsibilities feel heavier or past emotional patterns resurface.
It's possible. However, this can also be an opportunity for Cancer to set healthy boundaries, create more structure in their home life, and address any unresolved issues with compassion and understanding. Remember, those challenging Saturn aspects often come bearing gifts, even if those gifts are initially wrapped in a layer of difficulty.
It's like that saying, sometimes you have to break down the walls to build something stronger and more beautiful. Now, what about Leo? With the Sun, their ruling planet, also being squared by Saturn, how will they experience this energy?
Leo might feel a bit deflated, or like their usual shine is being dimmed this week. It's a time where their confidence might be tested, and they might face obstacles in their career or creative pursuits.
So instead of charging ahead with their usual Leo flair, maybe this is a week for them to practice patience, humility, and strategic planning.
Exactly. It's not about shrinking back. It's about using this time to refine their approach and build resilience. Thankfully, Jupiter's influence can help them maintain a positive outlook and find creative solutions. Now for Virgo, their ruling planet Mercury is also facing some challenges this week, being involved in several tense aspects.
So we're talking potential for miscommunications, missed deadlines, and maybe even some tech glitches. Not exactly the smooth sailing Virgo usually prefers.
You got it. It's a week for Virgo to be extra cautious with details, double-check their work, and avoid making any major decisions, especially financial ones.
So basically embrace the power of the to-do list, the calendar reminder, and maybe even that old school pen and paper.
Exactly. Organization and attention to detail will be their superpowers this week. Now for Libra, with Venus, their ruling planet forming a harmonious sextile with Neptune, this could be a week where their creativity and romanticism are heightened.
So a good week for a Libra to plan a romantic date night, write a love letter, or simply indulge in some daydreaming.
Absolutely. This aspect can enhance their artistic sensibilities and inspire them to connect with beauty and harmony. However, Venus is also squaring Saturn, which could bring up some challenges in their relationships or finances.
So while they're feeling inspired and romantic, it's also important for Libra to be grounded, to communicate their needs clearly, and set healthy boundaries. What about Scorpio? How will this intense week affect them?
This could be a week of profound transformation for Scorpio. As Venus aligns perfectly with Pluto, their ruling planet, they might experience intense emotional connections, uncover hidden truths, or undergo a significant shift in a close relationship.
Sounds like a week for Scorpio to embrace their inner detective, dive deep into their emotions, and allow those powerful Plutonian energies to work their magic.
Exactly. However, with the Sun-Saturn square also in play, they might also face obstacles in their career or public image. It's a time for them to stay focused, persevere through challenges, and avoid power struggles. Now, for Sagittarius, even though it's their season this week, might not feel like a typical Sagittarius party. With the Sun squaring Saturn in their sign, they might feel a sense of restriction or responsibility weighing them down.
So instead of booking that last-minute adventure, maybe this is the week for Sagittarius to focus on those long-term goals, create a solid plan, and be mindful of their limits.
Exactly. It's not about giving up on their adventurous spirit, but rather about channeling that energy into something sustainable and meaningful. Now, for Capricorn, with the moon entering their sign early in the week and the sun squaring their ruling planet Saturn, this is definitely a week for them to embrace their inner CEO.
So time to organize, strategize, and tackle those ambitious goals with that signature Capricorn determination.
Precisely. This week might bring challenges related to their career, their public image, or their responsibilities. But Capricorns are well equipped to handle these obstacles. Now, what about Aquarius? How will they navigate this week's energy? While their ruling planet Uranus isn't making any major aspects this week, they might still feel the overall tension in their social sphere. There could be conflicts or misunderstandings with friends, colleagues, or within groups they belong to.
So a potential week for some social drama or disagreements?
It's possible. The key for Aquarius is to practice patience, listen attentively to others' perspectives, and avoid getting caught up in power struggles.
Always good advice, especially when the astro weather is this intense. Now for Pisces with Neptune, their ruling planet, forming a sweet sextile with Venus, this could be a week for them to tap into their creativity, compassion, and spiritual side.
Exactly. It's a great time for Pisces to express themselves through art, music, or any activity that brings them joy and connection. However, Neptune is also in a contraparallel with the North Node, which could create some confusion or uncertainty about their long-term goals.
So while they're feeling inspired and connected, it's also important for Pisces to trust their intuition. Avoid making any impulsive decisions and focus on self-care. All of this information and even more insights for your specific sign can be found at horoscopo-samana.blogspot.com. Be sure to check it out. We'll be back with the final part of this deep dive into the week ahead. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground this week, from the sun squaring Saturn to the moon dancing through 3 different signs.
And we've explored how this intense yet mutable energy might play out for each sign. It's been quite a journey.
It has. So as we wrap things up, what are the most important things for our listeners to remember as they navigate this week ahead?
First and foremost, remember that this is a week where balance is key. We have that dynamic tension between expansion and restriction, optimism and realism, action and introspection.
It's like we're being asked to walk a tightrope between those energies, finding that sweet spot where we can both dream big and take practical steps to make those dreams a reality.
Exactly. And remember that tightrope isn't perfectly still. It's swaying a bit, which is where that mutability factor comes in. We have some wiggle room to adjust, adapt, and course correct as we go.
So if things don't go exactly according to plan, if we encounter a few unexpected obstacles, don't panic. It's all part of the process.
Precisely. This week is an opportunity to practice flexibility, resilience, and that wonderful quality of non-attachment to outcomes.
It's about focusing on what we can control, which is our actions, our reactions, and our mindset, and trusting that the universe has our back, even when things feel a bit chaotic.
Beautifully said. And as we navigate this cosmic obstacle course, remember to check in with your intuition. If something feels off, if you're feeling overwhelmed or drained, take a step back. Give yourself permission to rest, recharge, and reconnect with what truly matters.
Sometimes the most powerful action we can take is to simply pause, breathe, and listen to that inner voice. Now, before we say goodbye, I want to leave you with this question. Given the energy of this week, what is one small but meaningful step you can take to move towards your goals, nurture your relationships, or simply take better care of yourself?
Perhaps it's setting aside 15 minutes each day to work on that passion project, having an honest conversation with a loved one, or creating a relaxing evening routine to unwind and de-stress.
Remember, even small steps when taken with intention can create ripples of positive change in our lives.
For more personalized insights and guidance for the week ahead, be sure to visit horoscopo-samana.blogspot.com. There you'll find detailed predictions for your specific sign, along with tips for navigating the energy.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to The Deep Dive for more explorations into fascinating topics.
Until next time, stay curious, stay connected to your inner wisdom, and keep shining bright.